All right, right on, right on. Welcome to Taylor Ham Tuesday. And I got a great sandwich going here. I got the Taylor ham, bacon, provolone here, all done up in the pan here, nice and melted, and that sandwich just looks fantastic there. And I got a lot cooking here. I got a lot in the hopper here today for you guys in the shop. And you might be able to hear on the roof right here is rain. And I got some things to do before winter comes. And fall is setting in here. Temperature's starting to drop a little bit. And I got to get some insulation up in the ceiling here of my shop. Keep things warm in here. And a while back, I moved out of an old shop that I was in for 20 years, and I just recently set this shop up here. I bought a piece of property here that's got a nice shop building on it, and just in the last year or so, I've been setting up this shop, and I still got some things to do in here. So, and one of them is getting that ceiling insulated there. It'll quiet things down and keep things nice and warm here. And so with that, fall setting in here, I've been running the wood stove, and that brings up a couple projects that I'm going to work on here today. And one of those is going to be a firewood carrier, like a little sling that I'm going to make out of canvas and leather. And I'm going to show you guys that project there. That's pretty cool. I got the Consew 206RB out and ready to roll. So we're going to cut some canvas and some leather and sew up a cool fireplace carrier there. And then I got this right here. Now this is a fire, like a wood stove poker, fireplace poker. And I really like this style right here. Now my dad had one of these when I was younger. I don't know what happened to that one, but I copied the style here. And I'm going to make some improvements on this. I'm going to make a couple of these today. And I just really like this and the maneuverability of it and raking the coals around and turning the logs. And just a really cool design. It's kind of simple, but I'm going to improve it, put a little leather handle on it. So I'm going to show you guys that project there as well. And with some of these products here that I'm making in the shop, that brings up, I got my website rolling there, and I put up a little store on my website where I'm going to be selling some of these things. I might be selling this firewood carrier, maybe this guy right here. Right now, I just put up a couple items just to get the store started, and there are a couple of these small pendants that I made there. Where I do some metal stamping on there. So if you want to check out the website here, I got a couple of these things here for sale, and I'm going to start listing other products as time goes on here. I'm starting to make some shave kit bags out of leather and out of canvas, and I'm also making some leather bags for women as well that are pretty cool. So those are going to be things that are going to be up on the website here, and I'm excited about those things. And you guys can check these things out. Christmas time is coming, and I'm going to start selling some of these products off my website there and start making some of these things here out of the shop. All right, as you guys saw there, I got a fresh sheet of paper here rolled out onto the table there, and that was a cool little project that I showed in the beginning there of this video. And that's great. I like having a fresh sheet of paper. Each job that I do, I roll out a fresh sheet here, and it's kind of like a blank slate to start on. And I like drawing plans on here. It keeps the table clean. And sometimes I'm working with leather and things like this, and it's just nice to lay this stuff down on a nice clean surface there. And so I'm happy with how that paper roll holder worked there. That's just some rosin paper there, nice thick heavy paper. And I don't know, I got a few other things here that I want to show you in the shop here. And here are a couple of boxes that came in from my friend Rick. And Rick is a great guy there. And Rick has a Instagram channel there, Back Into Service. And he does all kinds of tool restoration and works on all kinds of cool things. And so he sent me out a couple boxes here, one that I opened up already and one that I haven't opened up yet, and it's a bunch of machinist tools in there. So I'm gonna check this stuff out and show you guys what Rick sent out there. Super kind of him. I'm always just blown away with the generosity of some people there, and some things that they're sending my way. So very nice there. So, all right, we got a lot to do. Let's get busy, and I'm gonna grab a bite of this sandwich right here. All right, here is the box that I got here from Rick, and rather than unbox it in front of you guys, I just pulled it all out and put it on the table here. So this is the first half of the first box that I opened up from him there. And a lot of these are expansion hand reamers here, mostly made by Cleveland there. And if you look right here, here's a number 126, right? And this is a spiral fluted expansion reamer, a hand one, right? And so here's a close-up of that there, right? And you can change this by tightening this on this side right here. And if you look in this book right here, this is a great little book here, Handbook for Drillers here. This is by Cleveland there. And if we look right here, number 126, Spiral Fluted Expansion Hand Reamer, number 126, especially designed with a long pilot for automotive work such as piston pin reaming, right? So that is a lot of these guys right here. These are all these expansion hand reamers here. Very nice, very nice. There's quite a selection of these. I think Rick does a lot of like barn sales and that type of thing, so he must have stumbled onto somebody who was a machinist there and working on this type of stuff. And then if we look over here, right, these are a lot of tapered pin reamers here, these kind of spiral reamers right here of all different sizes and shapes here. So this is for mostly for like machine work, for building machines, and reaming holes for tapered pins, right? And likewise, if we look in the book here, and we see right here, here is Spyrex Machine Taper Pin Reamer number 140, designed for economical and fast machine reaming of pinholes. Chips do not pack in flutes, hence breakage is minimal, furnished in high-speed steel, right? So you can see on these right here, it's a real steep flute, and that pulls the chips out very quickly there. It doesn't get packed in the holes there. So there's quite a few of those here in all different sizes, and there's some straight fluted tapered reamers there, and here's some straight fluted, just straight reamers here. So there's quite a selection of reamers right here. All right, cool. We'll go to the next box. All right, the next box here is mostly all end mills of different sizes here. And right, we got 4 fluted end mills, double-ended end mills, right, of various shape and use there. Some of them still have the wax on here. Right here is a 6 fluted end mill that's still wrapped up there, and that could be in pretty decent shape there. And so it's great. There's a whole bunch of different sizes here. Some of them look like they've been through a war, and others look in pretty decent shape. And then there's 4 different Woodruff key seat cutters right here, and these look pretty good. That looks pretty nice, and these are always handy to have there for cutting those key seats. All right, here's the next box here, and this is mostly all lathe tooling for the lathe there, either high-speed steel or carbide here. And right, there's a nice little selection of these here, and you can never have enough of this stuff. You're always looking for a bit here to grind at a particular angle or tip or that type of thing. And sometimes it's nice to have them already ground down in one direction, and you just got to come in and you got to touch it up, or you got to create a new shape on there. And right, here's some You know, someone's ground this out here with a little chip breaker into the top there. Very cool. And then here's some various, you know, custom ground little boring bars here to get into some tight little spots. You know, you're always shaping and making something to get into somewhere on the lathe there, right? Look at this little guy ground out like that. So very cool. You can never have enough of this tooling here, and it's great to have the variety of sizes, and you can just go into the drawer and reach for one of these. So this is awesome. All right, and here is the next box here, and this is great. This is perhaps my favorite box here that Rick sent out there, and you can never have enough parallel bars in your arsenal there, and these are just great. Some of these look really clean here, and what is this one? This is a Sterling Circle C here, right? And those look fabulous there. Very nice, very nice. And here's another nice set of blocks here, right? A little bit of rust and that type of thing on here, but you know, a lot of the machining that I'm doing sometimes, you know, a little bump on the road doesn't matter. You know, sometimes you're not always doing something that's got to be to the 10th of a thousandth there. And this stuff is great, right? You could put this up on a surface grinder and retouch these and that type of thing. But for me right here, this is perfect. And look at these big boys right here. And these are, let's see, I don't know if we can see that there, but this is a Brown and Sharp 920 there. And those are some nice blocks right there. Again, right, yeah, a little rust, little pitting here and there. That'd be great to put these on a surface grinder there and touch these guys up. But those are just awesome there. And check out this right here is a little 90-degree angle plate there with a couple little clamps. And these are great too, right? You can never have enough of this little type of thing. Always some kind of configuration there on the mill or whatever setup you're doing there, and you're always looking for the part, you know, to make the setup happen. And right, here's one of these. And likewise, with these little screw clamps right here, these are perfect too for doing those setups there. And these will come in really handy there. So awesome, right on with the parallel blocks. And, you know, you got to think probably a lot of these tools that Rick sent out here, you know, these have probably been sitting in someone's barn or shop, or somebody passed away. And, you know, these probably haven't been used since, you know, 1960 or something like that, right? And it's great to revive these tools, put them back into service, as Rick's Instagram says there, right? And definitely go follow Rick on Instagram there, back into service, and check out the tools that he's restoring there. Just awesome. And right, he threw in a little stainless rule there. And he also threw in something for my dad there, enrollment in the St. Francis Circle. And that's just really nice. As many of you guys know, my dad just passed away just a few weeks ago. And yeah, I want to say thanks for everyone reaching out and sending their condolences and that type of thing. And that's just been so nice of everyone there just to say a little something. So I really appreciate that, and my family really appreciates that. So thank you very much. And right, and thank you, Rick. I really appreciate the tools there. So, all right, right on. All right, on another note here, this is a tool that I picked up, you know, I was at the Home Depot, and I see this out of the corner of my eye, right? You're at the cash register there, and they're getting you there with the candy bars and things like this, right? And I look over, and I don't know, I kind of thought this was pretty cool for a nut driver here. And I think this goes up to 7/16 here. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of the Husky tools there. And I'm not always a big fan of the Home Depot wiping out all the mom and pop shops there. But this did seem like a cool little tool there. And I'll give it a test there. This could be a cool tool to have in the tool bag there, just for various tasks there. You know, I already have this Klein right here that has all the various you know, nut driving abilities right here in the handle, but this could be kind of nice that you do have some leverage on this guy here. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. All right, now one of the shop projects here today is building this firewood carrier, right? And so the materials that I'm going to use for building that is this heavy green canvas that I have right here. And then also I'm going to use this nice leather right here. So what I've done here is I've created a pattern that I have right back here out of wood here, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace this onto the canvas. Can you guys see? This is the pattern here for the firewood carrier, right? So this will curl up and we'll have two handles here. You can load your wood here and, right, be nice and toasty warm there for the winter. Be able to carry that firewood in no problem. So I'm gonna lay this down right here on this canvas, not quite to the edge. And I'm gonna trace this pattern here with a Sharpie. And I think I'll grab a fresh, new, sharp Sharpie here. And I'm just gonna run this right around the perimeter of this pattern here. All right, now at first, when I cut these here, I'm gonna cut this a little bit oversized here because I'm gonna glue the two pieces together here, and then I'm gonna cut the pattern out. All right, now I'm gonna glue up these two pieces of canvas together. And I'm just gonna put a light coating of spray 77 on this, and then put that other piece right on top here. And just a very light coat. That's it, just like that. All right, now I'm just gonna drop this right on top here. And work my way out from the middle here. All right, now that that's glued up, now I'm gonna cut this out right here on this pattern. I just got a brand new sharp blade right here in the knife. And I'm just gonna go right on this line and just be very careful to get a nice cut here. Slow and steady wins the race, right? All right, pretty cool, right? So you can see the shape there is coming together, and that's real nice. That's nice and tough and durable there. Nice heavy piece of canvas doubled up there. All right, next up is cutting out some pieces of leather. So there's going to be two strips of leather that run all along the center here, right? And then there's going to be a leather perimeter that goes all around the outside here. So I got a beautiful piece of leather here. Check out this very nice hide right here, and this just looks beautiful. Very, very nice. Very nice piece of leather. All right, so to start with, I have to establish a straight line on this, right? So I'm gonna get out my 8-foot straight edge here. Right, and at first here, I'm just gonna find a nice straight line all the way down. All right, by establishing a nice straight line on this, that enables me to use my strap cutter. And this is a great little tool here to use for cutting belts and strips and all kinds of stuff. So, all right, so at first, I get the straight edge right here. And I'm just gonna put a faint line down here just so I know where to line this up. And then I got my cutting mat right under here, and I'm just gonna start cutting. All right, I got this strap cutter here, and all this is a slot right here with a handle, and it's got a little blade right in here. And so what I've done is I've set this distance here to 2.5 inches because I want 2.5-inch straps here. And I started the cut here with my utility knife there, and then just slide this right over that cut there. And then it's just a matter of going slow and holding this strap cutter just tight to the side of the leather here and trying not to vary the width here. And it works really nice. All right, and there we go. There's one strap cut, and I need 4 for this project here. All right, I also need 2 pieces that are 8 inches by 10 inches, so I'm gonna cut those right out of this side right here. All right, that's great. I think I got all the parts I need except for the pieces I'm gonna cut out for the handles, and I'm gonna cut those out later. And the rest of this leather, this is such a nice piece of leather. I'm gonna turn this into a couple nice leather bags there, women's leather bags there. So here's a nice section here I'm gonna make one out of. And then I might get a couple shaving DOP kits, utility bags. Those are great for all kinds of stuff. Tools, you know, shaving kits, whatever have you. It's just a great all-around, all-purpose bag. So, all right. Ronald McDonald, chicken chow mein. All right. What I have here is a pattern here that is just slightly smaller. It's 3/4 of an inch smaller than the other pattern that I used earlier there. And this is used for just putting a line 3/4 of the way in, all the way around this piece of canvas. And what that's going to enable me to do is to sew on this piece of leather. This piece of leather here is going to wrap the edge of this canvas around the edges here. So I'm going to mark this at 3/4 of an inch in on all sides here. Just line this up just like that. All right, now I'm just going to come in with a pencil and just trace this all the way around. All right, now that I got those lines on there, I have to cut this leather strap here to length. And I have another pattern here, just made out of plywood here. And it's got these little notches cut in here. And this are little 22.5 degree little notches there. And that's gonna enable, see, this leather is gonna be folded, right? And then it's gonna go around these corners here. So I have to notch out a little bit of these corners to enable that to go around that corner there. All right, so I'll just lay this pattern here right on top of the leather. All right, trim that end off right there. And then I can come in here and I can cut out these little V notches. All right, and now I'm gonna glue this onto the edge, and we got our lines on here. And so I'm gonna come in with my barge cement right here. And this is a little bit of a tricky glue up. I'm only gonna do half, or this, I'm only gonna do this middle section right here at first. And then I have to work the leather around the corners there. Okay, you can wait 10 minutes for this to dry, or I like to come in with the heat gun here. All right, that looks good, and I'm gonna flip this over and stick this right down to my marks. And this barge cement is really nice and strong. It's just a great product to work with. And I'm gonna put glue all along here and then start tapping this down and working this down right there. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing. Fold this over here into the middle and start working my way down this line right here. All right, just like that, and I'll put these clips back on. All right, I'm over here at the sewing machine. This is one of my favorite machines in the shop here. This is the Consew 206RB, and just a great machine there. And so I'm gonna stitch this leather all the way around the edge here. And I am running Tex 135 thread. It's bonded nylon, right? And the needle here that I'm using, this is an Oregon needle here, size 21. It's a 135 times 16 TRI there. You know, there's all kinds of delineations on here, DPX 17D. But these are great needles here, and they work great for going right through this leather here. So let's stitch this up. All right, that looks deluxe. All right, isn't that great? The stitching just came out wonderful there, and there's something about just getting on that Consew, on that sewing machine, and just stitching this up that just makes me really happy there. That machine there is just a blast to use there. All right, so now I'm gonna put a couple strips of leather right down here, and those will be supports for carrying the logs there, just strengthen this up. And so what we're gonna have here, these pieces of leather here are gonna fold over like this, and this is gonna integrate into the handle, and these pieces are gonna go right underneath these guys here. All right, this is looking deluxe here. I'm liking how that's turning out. I'm telling you, you want something to brighten up your day, go get a sewing machine and make something. I tell you, it's a lot of fun. So, all right, now for the next couple parts here, right? We gotta make the handles here, right? So this is gonna wrap around the edge right here. And I'm gonna put a rod of aluminum right in here and attach these handles to that, and I'll show you that here in a second. All right, here is one handle that I have all made up here, right? And this is all hand stitched and riveted here with the copper rivets. And this handle is gonna go just like this here, and it's going to be attached to this aluminum rod here that will be sewn into the other piece there that's going to be on the firewood carrier there, right? So this is going to pull on that rod that's going to be sewn into this piece of leather right here. And so I made this one up, but I'm going to show you guys how I made that up there, right? So what that is a piece of leather here that I got laid out. Now this is 18 inches long, right? And I have a piece of rope here that's gonna go inside this, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna coat the back of this here with some barge cement and coat this rope in with some barge cement. But actually before I do that, see how this is hand stitched along here? So before I glue that in there, I'm gonna put some grooves down the sides here, and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna put some stitching holes into the side of this leather here, right? So I got some marks on here. It's maybe hard to see there, but I'm gonna come in with this grooving tool right here, and I'm gonna put a line right down this side right here. Just like that. See that groove I put down there? That's just gonna be right where I'm gonna put the stitching here, and I'll do that on both sides. All right, now I got a groove down both sides there. And now I'm gonna come in with this tool right here, and I'm gonna make some holes for the stitching. All right, and just work my way right down here. All right, see I got the stitching holes all nicely made there, and now it's time to glue that rope into the other side. All right, now I got a center line laid out right here where I want to stick that rope in. It's going to stick in right about there, right? But first, right, we'll come in with the barge cement here and give this a good coating here. All right, now I'm gonna stick this rope right down the center here. All right, just like that. And then curl this leather up, right? And now this is ready for stitching. All right, over here at the record vise, which also doubles here as a stitching pony here. So I'm gonna put this right in here and cinch this up. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand stitch this and do a saddle stitch here, right? And usually a good rule of thumb is to come in and whatever length that you're stitching here, go 4 times that. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 4 lengths of thread there for however long you're stitching there. And then I'll thread these needles here. This stitch is done with 2 needles. All right, so the first hole right here, right? I'm just gonna come all the way through, right? And even out my threads here, right? And then the next one, I pass this through this hole, and then I pass the other needle right through the same exact hole there, right? And then, instead of pushing on the needles, you hang on to the thread down below and you push right through there, right? And you pull these and cinch that up. And this is a really positive stitch there. All right, so I'll go to the next one here. We're coming through here, and then I'll pass this right through the same hole there. See that? Right, and then I'll pass this through the next hole here, and this right through the same hole. Push those through. Right? It's a little bit of a labor-intensive process here to do these, but once you get in a groove, it starts rolling. But it's definitely on the scale of extra handmade, right? All right, I'm down here to the last couple stitches here, right? So I'll pass this through right here. And then for the last stitch here, let's come right in this hole into the inside here, right? And same with this one right here. And then I just tie a couple knots right here. All right, so the end of these handles, these just turn in just like this, and these get a couple rivets, just like these guys right here. So in order to do that, I got some holes laid out right here. Put these holes right down the center here. All right, and now I'll just fold this under just like that, right? And pass a couple rivets right through there, just like that. And I'll come here to the nose of the anvil here. Put on a little copper washer there. Just like that. And now I come in and just snip these off, just a hair high there. See how much I'm snipping off? I'm not leaving too much behind there. About like that, right? Slightly different heights there, but you get the idea. And then on the nose of the anvil here, first, come in with the flat, and then come in with the ball peen. And that right there is really strong. That's such a great connection there. Awesome. All right, for the handle attachment, I have these pieces here that are gonna wrap around the end of the fire carrier there, firewood carrier, right? And the handle is going to, that metal rod is gonna run through here, and this handle here is gonna attach right into these holes here. So I already laid this one out here, and I'm just gonna trace this onto this one right here. All right, now with those holes cut out there, right, I can slide this rod here into the handle, and then I'll pass this through here. This one goes through this hole here. And we pass this one through just a ½ inch here. Perfect. Just like that. Right? See that? All right, nice. Now I'm going to head over to the sewing machine here and put some stitching right across here and lock that rod in. All right, this is really coming together there. Looking nice there. I'm really pleased how this is turning out here. And so the only thing I want to do lastly here is put a coat of the snow seal on here, the beeswax, and just rub down the canvas, do the waxed canvas, the leather, the whole 9 yards here. And so I'm going to start putting a nice coat of this on and working it in with the heat gun there. All right, well there it is, all nice and waxed up, and I love the look that this leather gets here with that snow seal. I got it on both sides here on the canvas, and I think this is just looking pretty deluxe there. You know, definitely a deluxe fire carrier here. This is pretty darn sweet. All right, so perhaps I should put a few pieces of wood in here and see how this does. All right, right on. Check this out. Doesn't this look deluxe right here? And it feels great too. These handles are feeling so nice in my hands here with a nice load of wood here ready for the wood stove tonight. I'm going to bring this into the house and get a little fire going there. And I just love the color scheme here and how that wax darkens everything up. It just looks great. I'm really happy with how this turned out here. And right, obviously I didn't get to the fire poker here, and I'm gonna be doing a short video, I guess, on this this week coming up. I'm gonna build some bending jigs for that and do a little leather work on that as well there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode here of Tailor Ham Tuesday. And right, be sure to check out my website. I'm going to have lots of different products coming out there. I'm going to be making that shade bag, dop kit, kind of a utility bag in a way there that you could use for a multitude of things. And I'm going to have all kinds of different products up there on the website there, handcrafted things here that I'm making in the shop. So you're going to want to check out rightonwithjohncrane.com. And right, if you want to support the channel, feel free to donate. I got a Patreon thing going on there. Don't feel like you have to, but if you want to support, it's much appreciated there. So, all right, I hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you all soon. All right, right on.